This is a very special episode of A Different Strokes.
I guarantee you, I haven't seen your list. There's no way that Different Strokes does not come in at number one with the Bicycle Man. I would bet my face and life on it. That's how confident I am.
That's how confident you are?
Yes. If I am wrong, stab me, Virginia.
Well, I put together a top 10 list just from all the research that I found, and these are seemingly the ones that people talked about the most. They would appear the highest on lists, and this is definitely number one on Jaybird's list. Now, if you don't know what this is especially something that you saw in 70s, 80s, and 90s television. A lot of times it would be a sitcom that normally was funny and entertaining, but then they would do a very special episode where they would dig down deep and they would talk about a difficult or controversial subject.
I'm curious if I can get if you bring up this show. I'm curious if I can guess the episode you're talking about.
Okay.
But am I wrong with Bicycle Man?
Bicycle Man, from what I saw, a lot of lists had it as the number one best very special episode they'd ever seen.
And Different Strokes had a few. They had where Sam, the stepson, got kidnapped. They had one where Kimberly and Arnold got kidnapped by a Ted Bundy type figure.
Oh my gosh.
They had the Bicycle Man. I mean,
Yeah.
anytime these kids went out, they either got kidnapped or
They got kidnapped by a Ted Bundy type figure and they got away?
they did. You could even tell by the way he was dressed that they were trying to go for a Ted Bundy type thing because it was so big in the media.
Okay.
Yeah. They were very big.
Lord.
And it would always start off with the main actor, Conrad Bain. This is a very special Different Strokes.
Yes.
And that's how it would
That was
start.
my impression of him I did just a second ago. Yeah, number one overall, without a doubt, is the one Jaybird's talking about, where Arnold had to deal with a pedophile bike store owner named Mr. Horton. And it was a 2-episode, so they had a to be continued. And man, just the grooming that Mr. Horton does with Arnold and his friend Dudley, it's unreal. And the innuendo and just some of the clips from it, I got a few here. This kind of is a summary of what the 2 episodes are about of this Different Strokes, the Bicycle Man.
He gave us some pizza and wine.
What else went on there?
He showed us some pictures. Everybody was naked.
Naked?
And he showed us some kinky cartoons.
What do you mean by kinky?
Well, you told me about the birds and the bees, but that's nothing compared to what those mice were doing.
Wow.
That is nothing compared to what is in this episode, Virginia.
Why is there a laugh track?
Right, what's so messed up about it? You're talking about pedophilia and the grooming using pornographic cartoons to bring in these kids, and then they've got the canned laugh track right after
There's
that.
a part where he gives Arnold ice cream, and Arnold talks about how great he is at licking.
Listen to
all
some.
right, okay.
Here's what I got. Listen to some of the innuendo that happened in this Different Strokes 2-part episode of The Bicycle Man.
You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
You keep coming up with these presents, you could scratch me all over.
I mean, listen to they kick into the loudest laugh track.
No, Arnold, no.
Virginia, what makes it's already uncomfortable, but the fact they throw so many laugh tracks behind
The
it.
laugh tracks followed by the really creepy innuendo is unbelievable. It's an unbelievable episode. You're like, what is going on here?
Arnold and Dudley are in the room with a monster, and they have a laugh track going on.
Yeah, check this one out.
That is great, Arnold. You're sure some terrific passer-outer.
I have a way with words when I put my mouth to it.
I mean, come on.
Virginia,
What are you doing?
It gets worse.
What are we
man.
doing?
It is so next level.
What you talking about, Arnold?
No, anytime I show this episode to people, they can't believe it.
Can't believe it.
They can't believe it.
I get it. I couldn't believe it as I was going through it. I had listened to these clips followed by the laugh track. It was unbelievable.
Even as a little kid, I'm watching going, this don't feel right. This
Yeah.
is awkward.
And how about this one?
Oh, that's all right, Dudley. That just means that there's more Boston cream pie for you and me.
Boston cream pie?
I mean, come on. Boston cream pie? What?
What the hell, Dudley?
No, Kevin's right. It's a 2-part episode. We could spend an hour long dissecting
Just
it.
the one, just this number one on the best of the very special episodes.
The Bicycle Man does such an amazing job playing the creepiest
Well, the guy
He-
was good. The actor, his name's Gordon Jump, and he was in a lot of big stuff. In fact, he was Mr. Carlson in WKRP in Cincinnati, another big show at the time, and he was the Maytag repairman, if you remember those commercials.
Yes.
So this guy acted a lot at this time. So for him to take on the role of a grooming pedophilia that owns a bike store was what?
Well, Arnold, spoiler alert, Arnold gets out. Dudley does not.
Yes. He doesn't get it from Mr. Horton, but he does stay a little bit longer than Arnold, and the parents are brought in. And
Well, that's debatable.
really, they didn't allude to that in all the things I saw about it.
One could argue that. Look, I don't want to get into
Whoa.
the. I don't want to get into the grass on this thing, but you could.
But
make
apparently,
a
Mr. Horton got into his grass.
there. You could make a debate on. Yes, Kevin.
Wow. It was pretty unreal.
Virginia.
I'm nauseous.
It's unreal that this was something they showed on primetime television back in the day.
And they thought
on a sitcom.
Well, a bunch of business suits sat them down and go, guys, we got to talk about the main issues of the world. It's great for ratings, and it would just come off very, very awkward.
Yeah.
But every show, if you say a show, I guarantee you I can tell you what the special episode was.
Okay. I've got some other amazing ones coming up. Different Strokes, The Bicycle Man, #1 on my list. But I got some other pretty solid ones here, including Tom Hanks.
Oh, Family Ties.
Okay.
Uncle Ned. Uncle Ned. Drunken
Uncle
Ned.
Ned, yes.